If you are suffering from seasonal allergies or environmental allergies, you've clicked on the right video. I'm going to go through with you today what exactly causes these allergies and what you can do to stop suffering. And make sure you watch till the end when I'm going to make you a special offer to help you personally if you are suffering. My name is Dr. Cori Stern. Welcome to my channel, Take Control of Your Health. If this is your first time watching, welcome. And please make sure to watch all of the videos on this channel because all of them will actually help you with your allergies. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for your feedback, support. Make sure that if you have not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button and like and share, right? So the like helps other people to find it, and the share, of course, anybody you know that's also suffering that you think will be helped by this information. So let's start by talking about what causes allergies, or you know what? Let me even back up further. What are allergies? What's actually happening in your body? So allergies are your immune system overreacting to things either in the environment or things that you've ingested or have touched you that aren't actually harmful, right? So if your immune system senses, let's say, a germ, a bug, a pathogen, something like a bacteria, a parasite, these types of things, its job is to go into attack mode, kill the unwanted critter in your body, and it has this whole cascade of reactions called an immune response. And one part of that reaction is releasing histamine. So you have specific cells in your body that release histamine. And it's the histamine that causes what you know as the allergy response, where you have mucus, running nose, sneezing, itchy eyes, or hives on your skin, things like that. Some people get rashes also. Right now, the allergy response is when your body is reacting to an incoming particle as if it's a bad guy, as if it's a pathogen, as if it's a bacteria or a parasite or a fungus or a virus. So, but the truth is that the particle that it's reacting to is not dangerous. It's not harmful. It's not actually going to cause illness, right? So, for example, pollen. Pollen is a part of nature. It is not harmful to you. It's actually good for you. If you, a lot of people eat bee pollen, good quality honey. That is the byproduct of what bees are doing. That's all helpful. It's healthful. So why do some bodies respond to pollen or to trees, weeds, flowers, dust, animals, and so on, and certain foods, right? A lot of people have seafood allergies, especially shellfish, peanuts, all of that. Why do some bodies behave that way? And basically the reason is because your immune system is overactive. It's kind of hyperactive. It's hypervigilant. It's watching every little thing that's coming near it and going, uh-oh, this might bother me. This might bother me. This might be dangerous. This might be toxic. And it is engaging in an immune response. But why are some immune systems overactive? Aha, that's the question that we need to answer. So that is the question about what actually causes, what's the underlying cause of these allergic reactions, these overreactions of the immune system. So the first most common cause is eating bad food. Yes, I'm sorry to tell you that, and I talk a lot about that on this channel, but when you're eating a lot of bad food, your immune system is constantly put to work because the incoming bad food, and when I say bad food, we're talking about things that are processed, things that have chemicals in it, bad quality commercial grains, especially, cause the immune system to behave as if those things are pathogens or they're something toxic or harmful. And the truth is they are. So let's just use an example. Let's say that you're eating commercial wheat in the United States, which is loaded with all kinds of chemicals. It's loaded with potassium bromide. It's sprayed with glyphosate. It's sprayed with fungicides. It's sprayed with pesticides. It has all kinds of garbage in it. And if it's white, it's dyed with chlorine gas. And now your immune system is reacting to all of those toxins, in addition to the fact that the grain itself is probably genetically modified in some way and is not biologically normal. So your immune system really doesn't recognize it as food. It doesn't recognize it as nutrition. And it's trying to protect you from the harmful effects of all those things. So when you're constantly eating these bad things, your immune system is constantly working. And after a while, just like if you were constantly working, you're going to crash, you're going to not function properly, right? When your immune system is overworked, it's going to go out of control. It's going to start behaving badly, basically. And one of the consequences of that is that you can have allergic reactions to things that are not harmful to you. So it's not good, because then also your immune system will become depleted, and after a while it will be easier for you to actually get sick, right? So this is not ideal. So number one, cleaning up your diet. Now, I have case after case of patients that I've helped with severe seasonal allergies that once we've cleaned up their diet of processed foods, bad quality grains, sugar's inflammatory, don't forget that. And allergies are an inflammatory response. When we've cleaned up their diet, if they keep it clean, they either don't have the allergic responses anymore or they're much reduced. I have one case of a patient who was not born in this country. And by the way, for some reason, so I have a lot of patients that aren't born in the US, because where I'm located in New York, I'm in an area where people from all over the world come here and live here. So for some reason, I noticed that men from Eastern Europe or Western Russia, the countries in Western Russia, like the Ukraine, and men from Central and South America tend to, when they come here and they're eating the food here, tend to get the absolute worst symptoms. Okay, that doesn't mean that other people don't have them too. I have plenty of American-born patients that have severe symptoms, and plenty of women from both here and those countries as well. But I see the most severe cases in people from those areas. So this one dear patient who was from Ukraine, and he's a barber, and his allergies were so severe it was interfering with his functioning. He was literally dripping mucus on the heads of his clients and couldn't barely even work. And it wasn't that difficult, just cleaning up his diet and giving him a few good quality supplements to help calm his immune system down. And he's not suffering anymore. The only time that he becomes symptomatic is when he eats something that he knows sets him off. So basically for him, it's sugar. He doesn't go anywhere near bad quality wheat, but if he ever did, like I want to say last year, he might have eaten a cookie during allergy season, and it set off what he calls it a burst of sneezing and symptoms. So I have a lot of stories like that, and your very, very first action would be to begin the process of cleaning up your diet. And it might take a whole year before your immune system calms down. You know, we can't predict. Everybody heals at their own rate. So, what are other underlying causes of allergies? Well, if you do have chronic immune challenges and your immune system is overworking, trying to handle these chronic immune challenges, then that can also cause your immune system to over respond to these mild or non-toxic particles. So, what's a chronic immune challenge? What am I talking about? So, for example, let's say you have mold. You have mold in your house. And by the way, mold is a lot more common than you think. It can be very, very dangerous to your health. Mold produces something called mycotoxins, which can make you very, very sick. So there's different kinds of molds and different kinds of mycotoxins, and some are worse than others. But if you've ever had any leaks or water damage in your house, even if you fixed it, even if you came up with a remedy for it and think that it's gone, a lot of times these things still live inside your walls and you don't realize it. A lot of buildings these days are made with drywall, and drywall is actually terrible because it holds onto moisture, and then the mold lives in the drywall and you don't necessarily see it. You don't know it's there. It can also live in baseboards. It can be very sneaky and be in places that you don't find it. So when I find mold in patients and they're swearing up and down that there's no mold in their house, you know, I have them do a little investigation. There's also some environmental tests that you can have done and see what's going on. But I had one case of it was a whole family coming in that were sick all the time. They were always sick. They always had what appeared to be a cold, and they would get better and then it would happen again. And I did doing the exams that I do, I did find that they were all suffering from mold, and they swore up and down there was no mold. And finally, they found some mold at the bottom of a closet, a deep closet they had with a whole bunch of stuff in it piled up that there was no way they could see it. And they ended up having to move. And once they moved, they got better. They were fine. So having a chronic immune challenge like mold, like parasites are so common. 80% of people have parasites and don't necessarily know it. So they might not be causing classic parasite symptoms like, you know, intestinal symptoms or diarrhea or things like that. You might not have any way of knowing that you have parasites. Parasites are, again, like mold. They can be very sneaky. They can live anywhere in your body. They can hide in your organs. Any organ can have parasites, not just your intestines. They're kind of smart. So they actually try to stay out of your lower intestines so that you don't poop them out. They can hide in your brain, your heart, your lungs, your liver. They especially like the liver. Your kidneys, at your joints, your soft tissue. So I have case after case after case of people with weird symptoms. They feel like a vibration sensation around their chest, or they feel crawling sensations on their legs or their scalp. All kinds of bizarre things I've seen. I had one older woman who literally could not breathe. She was gasping for air. She came in to my office like that with an oxygen tank, and she had been to doctor after doctor and they couldn't diagnose her. And we found parasites in her lungs. We put her on some parasite supplements, and guess what? She immediately started being able to breathe. It was crazy. I mean, immediate. It was like within 24 hours, she was off of the oxygen. So I have a lot of cool parasite stories, but this is the thing. If you have chronic parasites, and like I said, they're really common and there's a lot of different kinds, then it's depleting your immune system. And then you're possibly going to be more prone to allergies. You can have chronic bacteria, things like Lyme it's very common. We're finding a lot of these types of Lyme related bacterias, and there's multiple different ones. And of course, that's not the only chronic bacteria that you can have, but same thing, depletes your immune system, leaves you more vulnerable. And then chronic viruses, things like herpes simplex, herpes complex, herpes zoster, which is what causes shingles, um, um, what am I trying to say here? HPV, human papillomavirus. There's so many different viruses. CMV, cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, right? So all of these things also may be depleting your immune system and causing you to be more prone to having allergic responses. So now, what can you do about that, right? So if you have a chronic immune challenge, you really, really need to clean up your diet, okay? Because your body is much more vulnerable when you're eating garbage, when you're eating toxins, when you're poisoned. Pathogens in your body actually become more dangerous. So we're all walking around with pathogens in our body. We all have, I mean, there's, bacteria that are in your gut that help you digest. There's fungus. Oh, I didn't mention fungus before. Well, that's in the mold family. But so you're loaded with with these critters that are not necessarily causing you harm. But the more toxic you are, the more they actually will morph into harmful critters. In an attempt to help you with the toxins, believe it or not, your body is just struggling to be healthy as much as it can. So these bugs just live inside you symbiotically without necessarily causing problems until you yourself are toxic. And so we say that, it's the environment, the terrain that ends up making you sick, not the actual germs, right? So that's, if you want to check out the difference between the germ theory and the terrain theory, people who do holistic, natural health care, we look at the terrain more than anything. So for allergies, number one, clean up your diet. That will help to strengthen your immune system. And then you may need some natural supplements to help your strengthen your immune system. You have a thymus gland in this area here in the middle of your chest that produces some white blood cells, the T cells that help to kill off bacteria. Sometimes your thymus gland is depleted, so we have to help restore it. So these are all things that I could actually help you with very easily. If you're interested in getting some help, that's going to be my offer at the end of this. And some other things that you can do environmentally to help yourself. We do recommend ionic air purifiers. I actually have one that I really like, which I will put a link to that on the description of this video, and that helps keep the air clean. You can also get a essential oil diffuser, and if you have a tendency to have too much moisture in your house, I would recommend that you get a dry diffuser. So you can get a diffuser that has water in it and you add the essential oil to the water, or you can get a diffuser that's dry and you're actually just putting a bottle of oil in that diffuser and just diffusing the oil and not also adding more moisture to the air. So there's something that we call an allergy balm, and it's a combination of lemon, lavender, and peppermint oil, right? So that's one of many types of remedies that you can try doing for your environment. And of course, using things like a HEPA vacuum cleaner, right? That will clean up your dust a little better, and making sure that you use dust covers on your pillows and your mattress and things like that is helpful. Not having carpets if you're very sensitive. And the other thing that I recommend is some really good quality supplements that help to reduce your histamine response. So conventional allergy treatment is just histamine blockers. They're just drugs that stop your body from producing histamine. And that's never a good idea, right? Because there's no such thing as a drug without a side effect. They're just forcing your body into an unnatural reaction, and you're not actually doing anything but controlling your symptoms. But with natural stuff, you can actually work with your body so that it functions better and doesn't produce as much histamine. And that's a better idea, or help your body to clear the histamine more effectively. So we don't recommend drugs. When in very severe cases, I've had patients have to go on steroids. I hope you know that steroids are really, really bad for you. They damage multiple organs in your body. They cause osteoporosis if you use them long term. So we really don't want you to have to end up doing that. My favorite nutrition supplement company is Standard Process. I've talked about it on this channel before. It is only available in the US. I'm sorry about that. If you're not in the US, I recommend, if you're in Europe, I recommend Marco Pharma. Marco Pharma has a couple of really good remedies one of them is called Allernest, and that's really great to control allergy reactions and help drain your sinuses and your upper respiratory system. But here, the thing that I use the most is this. I'm trying to put it where you can see it. It's called Antranex. It has a weird name, Antranex. And Antranex actually works through the liver, and it helps to clear out gunk. So when your liver is backing up, you tend to build up mucus in your upper parts, your upper respiratory system, your sinuses, your throat, your bronchioles get gunked up, right? So, and that could be, by the way, another cause of allergies can be your liver not working really well. So if you're drinking too much alcohol, you're eating too many toxins, you're using toxins on your body, you're taking drugs or medications, and your liver is overworked, that can cause also you to be more prone to allergies, especially if you're constipated, right? So liver constipation and allergy symptoms all go hand in hand. The other remedy that I like from Standard Process is called Allerplex, and it has Antranex in it, as well as some other things like fenugreek. Fenugreek is really good for thinning out mucus. If your mucus tends to be very thick and you're having a hard time getting it out, whether it's in your bronchioles or in your sinuses. So those are my two recommendations. You can go on my website, drcori.com. I'll put a link in the description. Click on shop Standard Process, and you can order those if you would like to try them. Now, my special offer for today is we are now doing virtual consults. So no matter where you are in the country or the world, I can help you. I can put a plan together for you. I can help you clean up your diet. I can help you decide which supplements are going to best help you. All right, we keep our fees affordable. We have some options, whether you want a 20-minute consult or a 45-minute consult. So there's some price menus. So if you are interested in getting a consult with me, you go on drcori.com, and it says there's a button there for get a virtual consult. And then you'll just fill out a form and we'll contact you. and get you started right away. And I hope some of you will do that, because my goal is to help as many people as I can restore their health naturally without the use of drugs. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that if you are suffering from allergies, you feel better really soon. And we will be back with more great information for you very soon. Take care, guys. Don't forget to like my video if you liked it, and subscribe and share. Thank you.